Hey, it's the Fake Ear Hunter here with a review today for the Mobvoi Earbud Gesture. Came out on Tuesday of this week on January 11th, and this is a little bit of a different review because I don't normally review earbuds. What happened is Mobvoi allowed me to test the TicWatch Pro 3, and they asked me if I would test the earbuds, and it actually coincides with something that I've been wanting to do, is to figure out what is the best for me, what is the best earbud for life, for calls, and for CrossFit. So for a combination of anything that I could possibly use it for, I don't care what the price is necessarily, I just want to find the best solution that accomplishes all things. I'm here at the home office today, or just the ghetto fabulous workstation back here, because I am overloaded with work, and I'm going to be overloaded with work for the next few weeks. So I'm still working out every day at 6 a.m., still testing different devices, still looking to, make notes and jotting things down all along the way for what I want to look at or analyze or how I'm analyzing it. So I'm going to continue to bring content, but it's just going to have to be shot here so that it's streamlined and easier for scheduling. So what is it about the Mobvoi Earbud Gestures, sort of a mouthful there, that's unique and different? Or let's just go through the specs. We're going to look at a hands-on look at the app and then come back together for a summary. As always, if you like this review, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing for more. I'm actually going to test the Jaybird Vistas and the Beats by Dre. So Mobvoi just sort of helped me launch into a new area. Not that I'm going to be testing a bunch of earbuds, and not that I'm going to continually test earbuds or different sound devices, but I just want to know for my own life what is the best at all these basic functions. So when I look at all these earbuds, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to do some specific testing on the Garmin Fenix 6 versus the Polar Vantage V2, which I've tested and individually reviewed both of those devices. I'm going to do a comparison. I'm going to compare Garmin's training load platform versus Polar's training load platform. I'm going to compare the Garmin Fenix 6 versus the 6S. And so there's a lot of video content coming up, so stay tuned for more and subscribe for more. So one thing I forgot to add in is how I'm going to test all of these different earbuds. What types of areas I'm going to focus on. One, the fit hold, for exercise and for life. How do they stay in my ear? Two, the volume and quality of sound and detail. Three, the calls. Can you hear the calls, and can the callers hear you? Four, the buttons and control, just about a control, like what the device does. Can it link to Siri? Can you skip forward in your music? Five, the battery life. How long does it last? Not really analyzing. I'm not going to test the amount of time I was on the phone, but just in general, battery life. And six, just perks, benefits, issues, and downfalls across the board. I have to give a big disclaimer when it comes to earbuds. My ears are deformed. They are not shaped normally. For some reason, AirPods, the Apple AirPods, fall straight out of my ear. So a lot of this is subjective, because a lot of this can't be controlled by the shape of your ear and necessarily the right design. So I'm just going to say at the outset of this review and other earbud reviews, my ears do not hold AirPods. So they fall out. I have to get this special, I get like a little special rubberized thing on the outside of my, dangle cords, and just, it helps lock it into the ear so I could actually have a better sound quality and it not just fall out and be a frustrating experience. What are the details and specs? 50-hour battery life. That is longer than average battery life for most of the, earbuds, headphones I've looked at or, analyzed or read about. IPX5 rating, which is better than the IPX4. Makes good sense. This can handle a jet stream versus just a splash. So it can handle a beam of water versus a splash, but can't be submerged. Basically on the music listening time, I think they said 10 hours of just straight music listening, 7 hours of talk time. It uses a USB Type-C cord, which I like that everybody's sort of going to that standard cord versus the micros. It seems like everybody is. Laptops, all of them. $70 priced. The unique thing about these is they have what's called head gestures. So when you get a call coming in, you can have your hands tied up. You can just nod your head to answer it, and you can do that to hang it up. It's got dual mic noise canceling, so better sound quality for the people listening. It's got single use unit. You can use either one of the devices, and it's got tap controls, double tap, triple tap. So with all of that out of the way, let's get into what it looks like, the device itself, and come back together to see how it performed. Okay, so what do we see here? We obviously have the box. This is the case. And that's what the app looks like. So we'll look at just a little bit of the box, not doing an unboxing, but this is all you get as far as the extra nodules. You just get a small and a large. So there's not a whole lot else. You obviously, in the box came the USB-C cord, and then you got the case, and each little piece is inside the case. So first when you open it up, the case, the top of the case feels a little bit flimsy. You can see that it immediately sort of detects them. That's great. I do love that you have a device that sort of populates, unlike the cheap ones that I've been using, that when you open it up and it connects, it says 95%. It connects up there. You can see it here. So it connects, but the top feels so flush. Whenever I was going to like rush put them on, I could barely get, I just was like, I can't quite get it. Just, you know, to be able to get the case open. And then to go to look out, you look at how it looks. You can see that there's not like a handle. Like this is sort of smooth, so you can't like pinch it here. You actually have to pop it and pry it here to get it to come out of the case. So that's what it looks like. You know, each of the earbuds, I guess we'll take them both out. You get flashing lights, green lights there. You have their USB-C port on the side. And this is how it looks. So it does sort of have a look of like the AirPod Pros. It, you know, slides into the case or slides into the ear. And obviously you could change the length of that. So the double tap, so it's right in this sort of section here where you're double tapping or triple tapping. And that's basically the left and the right two different things for the double tap and the triple tap. So when you look at the app itself, so this is where it comes on the Mobvoi app. When you go into the earbuds, push the little side button here. You go into, to be able to control this, you can either turn the control on or off, and you can figure out what each of the, you know, different definitions of tapping, holding, any of that sort of thing when it comes to music, voice assistance. You hold for 2 seconds. So you can see each of those things there, but one of the things you can't see is you obviously don't see an equalizer, so you can't adjust any of the details or sound quality, and you can't change what the button presses do. So, you know, you just basically, so it'll tell you which ear, so like tap 3 on the right ear for the next, tap 3 on the left ear for the previous, play pause is double tap on whichever one because it's not specifically mentioned. So you can see how you control the device, but you can't control anything, can't make any changes to the control. You see the battery life there, and obviously when you open it first back up, the screen pops up to tell you the remaining battery life, and you can turn off the tick motion on or off. That's that sort of thing where if you nod your head when you're on a call, it'll take the call, and if you don't, you know, if you turn, you know, if you say no, nod your head no, it should hang up the call. So that is the overview of the hands-on of the device. Let's talk about how it turned out. So let's talk about how they did, how they felt, how they performed. Number one, fit. Not good. You know, obviously it's all my ear's fault. So I can't, you know, it just doesn't work for me to have something in my ear. It feels like it's just sort of loosey-goosey. There's only 2 different little snap-on nodules to make it tighter or looser. Neither one made a huge difference, although the bigger one was a little bit better. There's only 2 choices, but my ears are just too big, and it just sort of felt like it was flopping around, so it was going to fall out at any time. So it wasn't good there. 2, the quality of the sound and the volume of the sound. So the volume to me was about 60% of other ones, even these cheap ones that I've been using. So I've only been using $20 or $30 earbuds and then the dangle cords that come with Apple iPhones. So it is about 60 to 70%. So take that for what it is, because that is what you're getting. Just too quiet. Part of that is it's not compressed in my ear because it's dangly, but that's because, you know, just the way my ear is shaped. But in general, I can't jack it up to a point where I can hear it, and that affects the quality. So it might have great quality, but I couldn't appreciate or benefit from the quality of the highs and the lows because it wasn't fitting and compressed to my ear, and it just sounded generally quiet. 3, the calls. Now, the listener on the other end could hear it just fine. It seemed like the call quality, whatever their dual mic, you know, outside cancellation, it was working just fine, but I couldn't hear. I took a call on the highway the other day. It was kind of an important call. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't hear what this guy's saying. Had to get it out and get the regular phone out just to be able to complete the call. So call quality was great, but the volume level is too low. Battery life. Great battery life. This thing, you know, I do believe you could probably get 6 or 7 hours of talk time. I did time some of the music, just the music listening, and based on my projections, you get about 12 and a half hours of just listening to music on them. So maybe 50 hours with the case, so the case can keep it regenerating for 50 hours. 4, the buttons. So I had a hard time. So obviously you can't control the buttons. You can't change what a double tap or a triple tap does. You don't have a volume slider like some of the other Mobvois do. But I couldn't get it to double tap. I'd be like this, and it'd be flopping around in my ear, and and so I'd hold it and then try to double tap, and I'd tap low, tap middle, and it would slowly work, but it was just this conscious effort. So the experience for the buttons wasn't great. And then last, and just in summary, the perks, bennies, and issues was that the gesture didn't work. So somebody would call, I'd nod my head, and it would pick up the call. Great. Somebody would, you know, I want to hang up the call. I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Short, long, fast, whatever it is, the gestures didn't work to hang up the call, and that's one of the feature benefits. And last, like I said, when I was showing the hands-on, the case just feels, obviously the case feels a little bit plasticky, but getting the case open because it's so flush on the front and getting the earbuds out was they should have had like a clasp where you reach your finger in two places and you get it back out. So that's a summary for the Mobvoi Earbud gestures, and you can ask any questions you want if you have any other experiences for yourself. I'll put a link in the video below for you to be able to purchase if you have an interest. They're $70 on sale now from $100. It looks like the standard retail price. Fit Gear Hunter, thanks so much for watching.